What it do, what it do, what it do. This is your Astro Shaman Pernell Bobby, here to tell you about the 5 demands of the red dragon. Demand because red dragons are very closely associated to the Mudlahara, or what can also be considered the root chakra. And this is a very instinctual based chakra that feels this need. It is a pressurized center, for example, in human design, between the head and the root. And so this pressure is telling you 5 major demands. Major. There's gonna be way more than this. All right. If you want to consult like your dream specifically, feel free. Check me out on the website. All right. But I'm also going to help you, if you stay tuned to the end of this video, with how to recognize the physiological cues of when the red dragon is telling you that you're out of balance. I'm going to help you understand outside the physiological cues. I'm going to help you understand how to balance it if you find yourself out of balance. Okay, that's a how. That's the physiological cues. I'm going to help you understand what are the significators of being out of balance. I'm going to show you what it means to actually be in balance. And I'm going to stick with another number 5, affirmations, if the red dragon comes to you, to help you really embody the power of this. So without further ado, I want to have you hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Again, like I said, this is your Astro Shaman Pernell Bobby. We are generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology, and this is expanding so much more. I feel like it's time for me to start speaking about these animal medicines, starting to speak about these mystical medicines, one being the dragon, okay? Or in Vedas, in the Vedas and Vedic culture, this is a Nagas. The Nagas are very powerful, very much associated with Bristapati, all right, or Cancer or Jupiter. So we'll help you understand more about the Nagas. The Nagas can also be, when you see a dragon, understand that this dragon may show up in the middle of your city. It may show up, you're walking on a red brick road that curves and it makes you think of a dragon. The symbolism can show up in your dream. You might actually see a red dragon. A lot of time, if you see a full red dragon, wow. Okay, a lot of times they'll show you a part, maybe the arm, and you see the scales and you imagine that you saw the dragon. Maybe they'll show you an eye and you imagine you saw the rest of the red dragon. But if you've seen a full red dragon, that speaks for how powerful you are and how much you're in tune with the power of the red dragon. So let's help you understand more deeply the spiritual meaning of the red dragon. Dragons have always been one of my favorite. I've been drawing dragons since a little kid. I stopped, and very recently I began to draw dragons almost like I've been possessed or something. Like I'm just drawing dragons for fun, and I'm like, I didn't even know I can do this, but I did as I stepped back into what I remember. All right, so without further ado, again, last time, hit the likes and the thumbs up button. Stay tuned to the end, okay, so you could check out the 5 things of the physiological cues when you're out of balance, how to recognize it, what it looks like to be in balance, how to see and recognize when you're overreactive or have a hyperactive disbalance, which is different than being balanced, as well as the affirmations. You can also, if you want deeper insight on this, check out my chakra course. I have a course that is just on the chakras and how they link to each particular dragon that I'm going to go through during this series. So I intend to do a full series, and you'll hear much more from that chakra course associated with the dragons than you'll hear from me on this video today. So let's get in it. All right, quick interjection. Check out the 8-week free registration. The registration is free. It'll help us understand what you need, literally the whole meaning of the red dragon, what you desire that we can help you with, my partner and myself, Eileen the Mexican Bruja. The registration is the first link down in my bio. That registration will get you basically a worksheet of questions. Okay, it doesn't cost you nothing to fill it out. Even if you decide you don't want to be a part of the 8-week Sacred Innovators reality, we're helping you literally be an entrepreneur. Go ahead and get that check in, but with the system. We live in the real world. We all spiritual beings. This is my hardest thing that I'm so happy I can now do for y'all, because it took me so long to integrate into the freaking human world. I swear to God, like a long freaking time. But I found my way there, which is a lot of what this red dragon is about. And now I can help you find your way there too. So check it out. It's free to register. It helps us better understand how to support you And then because you're the one basically structuring the 8 weeks. We have a platform. You're going to see each week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to see each week with an outline. But understand the outline is subject to change. So check that out. Stay tuned. Of course, you got the chakra course more related to the red dragon itself. All right. And this is just a lower entry item that can really get you still what you need, and you can go ahead and apply, move yourself forward. But if you really want an accountability partner, this is what's going to be so powerful about myself and Eileen the Mexican Bruja. Excuse me. Wow, my dragon just roared. We'll see you soon. Okay, I had to go ahead and show you this view real quick. As I come back down, I was like, I gotta show them the view because it has a lot more to do with the red dragon than may be apparent. So let's kind of dive in. All right. I have here in my book and my Eileen the Mexican Bruja agenda. Go get yourself one if you want an agenda like this. She's going to be coming out with the 2024 edition very soon. So very powerful. I have my dragon notes. I have some for the yellow dragon. So stay tuned. Let me know if you want to see the yellow dragon meanings down below in the chat. Let me know if you've seen a red dragon down below in the chat. Okay. So, number one, I have here that when you see a red dragon, no matter the symbolism, this can show up in so many ways. I can't stress it. You can look at a red brick building that curves or that just has a bold face that makes you think of a red dragon. So, number one, this is a significator. All right, one of the demands that the dragon is really trying to ask you is demanding you to step into your immense power. If you are able to see a red dragon, especially if you've seen a full body, okay, because dragons are very private. They have so much power, this immense power like you see here. All dragons have immense power. The red dragon is like it cares mostly about power. These are very close associated to Aries as well as Scorpio type energies. Okay, the blood red of Scorpio, the warrior red of Aries. Immense power, okay, is being demanded to step back into it with a desire to pursue goals. Okay, this is the full type energy. So this is number one, right? If you are aware, okay, or not aware, because this is the full energy. So you actually, I take that back, don't need to be aware. When you say red dragon, it's telling you, you don't need to be aware of your goals, but it's demanding you to start to pursue what you're passionate about, what your instinct leads you towards. Instinct requires you not to think so much rather than to do. This is why it's related to the full card and the major arcana. Check out my major arcana course if you want to learn more about that and how the degree point theory works with the major arcana and the tarot and the full card along with the planets and more. All right. So all this stuff is on my website. The full card is very closely linked to this immense power because the full card is associated again with Pluto, and Pluto is what? Immense freaking power. But the real and immense power is to work in these higher octaves of humility within that power, really realizing that this is your basic survival instinct, this is your basic survival needs and demands. I literally mean, when you say red dragon, it is demanding you to embrace. When I've seen red dragons, I wasn't accepting my power. I just wasn't. It's just the truth. Like, I even hate to say it, but it's the truth. I wasn't fully walking in my strengths. I wasn't fully walking in my power. You're not going to fully understand your strengths until you go out there and get it. All right. So when a red dragon appears to you in your dreams or any other symbolism, you want to start thinking, what is the most powerful thing that I can do for myself today? Okay, because the red dragon is very much associated with Martian type energy, and Mars is very much individualistic. It's very selfish. Okay, it's not really trying to do X, Y, and Z for everybody. It's like, look, here are my basic needs that I need to get back down in tune. So this is what I have for you for number one. All right, it's really saying, look, start moving, and then that way you'll discover throughout this action your desires as for what goal you might pursue. When the yellow dragon comes, and we'll do this a different time, the yellow dragon is a little bit more about pursuing that at a high level, a high consciousness. The red is not a very high conscious energy. It's a very much more assertive, action-based energy. All right, this is telling you to be courageous. You're in a brand new stage of your life, and that's okay. You have so much power. Immense power is the word I want to continue to. Tremendous power that whatever you're going through, just start moving. Which leads me to So to finish off number one, this immense power, this immense strength is really when you're facing obstacles. Obstacle 444 on screen, look at that. You're building a new reality, all right? You're building something worth living. And in order to do that, you are going to need to accept that there are obstacles. There are always obstacles in the way. So look at those obstacles, take them by the horn, and go ahead and pursue it with a certain sense of strength. This is all number one. Really, when you see the red dragon, you will likely have obstacles. Most likely those obstacles are your own innate fears to go ahead and be powerful, to accept this immense responsibility of your true power. Power is the word with the red dragon. Now, number two. So when I say immense power and strength, now I want to say something like on number two, this is about intense passion. Okay? The passion of the red dragon is so immediate. It's like, I need what I need. You know, it's a very passionate lover. It can be telling you to really get in tune with your sexual energy at the most primal instinct, right? In the most primal of ways, it's like, look, your sexual energy needs to be harnessed. So think about your sex life right now, and think about how passionate you are with your sex life, and think about, are you sharing that passion with yourself as passionately, as intensely as you do with another who you may be looking to please? Okay, literally, sexually speaking. If you're not, the answer is no. It's time to really take some time for celibacy. The red dragon could really say this. Take some time for celibacy so that you can hone this intense passion, you can hone this desire-based energy, and start to transmute that raw sexual being, that raw sexual nature within you, and essentially stop giving away your seed. Okay, red dragon, like I said, Aries, Scorpio are very closely related to that Mars and that Pluto energy in a higher octave. These are seed energies, meaning, you know, when you plant something, it takes time, effort, and focus and deliberation, okay, to bring that seed into a physical reality. It is starting off as a vision, a powerful vision, an immense and passionate vision that will begin to take form. But the red is not about fully taking form. It's about feeling that pressure, like I said earlier, to create in a direction where you don't need the meaning yet. The meaning is not so important right now with the red dragon energy. It's just like, look, go ahead and burst off. Okay, so you are looking to pursue some goals. Okay, you already know number one, overcome the obstacles. So you know number two now, with the intense passion and even lustful type energy, to be redirected and deliberate. Let's focus and talk about number three. So number three that we have here, it may honestly speak about dangerous challenges, especially when it comes to reshaping your identity. You may be overcoming some very dangerous challenge right now, where you're going through a stage of personal growth. So the spiritual meaning of the red dragon, when you see it, is personal growth is on the horizon. When that happens, it means literally a lot of times it's asking you to take off this mask. Look at this mask and look at how dangerous this mask has become to your life, to your mission, to what matters most to you, to the things that make you money, to the things that bring you clothes on your back. All right, your basic security and survival instincts are saying, look, if you maintain this identity, we are essentially at risk. We're in harm's way. This is when you start to self-sabotage yourself. This is when you start having dreams with the red dragon, or not about the red dragon, but have dreams that you may not remember, and you begin to kind of scratch your face. Have you ever woke up with a scratch in your face? I know I have, more than once, a lot of times in my life. When these happen in the times when I've refused to let go of an old identity, an old personality, an old persona, an old way of seeing the world through these two eyes, which can be considered your rising sign or your ascendant sign in astrology, right? When I was being so stubborn in these instances, the red dragon is a very stubborn energy, because it's like, look, it's very immediate, it's very now, it's very powerful, it's very, in your face. It's like, I'm not afraid of nothing. And so it will demand, because again, these are the 5 demands of the red dragon, the 5 demands with the spiritual meaning of the red dragon. It will demand that you surrender your identity, or you will find yourself likely in harm's way. That harm's way a lot of times will manifest in some external form. It may turn into someone robbing you. and sticking you up at gunpoint and taking your purse and your jewelry and your belongings. Or it may show up in the way where you're losing your house keys, okay? Because your home is a place where you go for security, you go to be safe, right? And losing those keys can say, like, right now you're not feeling safe with letting go of this old self. As long as you don't let go of that old self, you will never allow the new self to come in. And this is the very big danger that the red dragon will start to manifest. Because you must understand that dragons are powerful. They're angelic in nature. They work in the 9th dimensions and above. There are some 4th dimension, 5-dimensional dragons as well. But they work in a lot of dimensions. They don't really work much in the 8th dimension, but that's a different story. Or density. But that's a different story. That's what unicorn land. If you want to start hearing about unicorns, let me know down in the chat and I'll tell you more about unicorns. Okay. Point being, they're violent. They are aggressive. Okay. They will kill. They will kill that old self for you because they're above human consciousness. They're beyond humans. Basically, I don't even want to say this word. Let's say bitching and whining. Okay, they're beyond and above bitching and whining. They don't care. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So they will hurt you, or they will put you in harm's way so that you can have a scare. So for me, for example, it's like it took me multiple people and watching them die, whether by stab wounds, whether by gunshot wounds, and I try to remind people and tell them, you don't need to go through this. My stubborn ass needed to, because this was started to remind me of how many violent lifetimes I have been a part of, whether as a warrior or otherwise, okay? Whether through war scenes or otherwise, 11111 on screen. So don't do all that. Learn from my lessons. Trust me, it's not necessary. It's very brutal. It takes a lot of soul recovery. And when I say soul recovery, it's like, if you have experienced death in your life somehow, some way, know that this isn't the first life that you've had to go through that. You only were given this task if the red dragon came through to do something like this because they know you could handle it. So understand that this is what it means when it's a demand. Demanding this, and let go of that identity before you get to this extreme point. Because Aries and Scorpio, again, they go to the extremes. They are the full energy, okay? The fool gets themselves in trouble unknowingly, and they also get themselves out of it through their innocence and through their raw power for discovery and curiosity. So be curious about this new self. So number 4 that I have for you, it is a protector, it is a guardian, especially in the realms of helping you identify your insecurities, as well as where you don't feel safe. Now, it will also guard and protect your home. If your home is under attack, okay, if your family is under attack, if you yourself is under attack, spiritually, physically, or otherwise. Many times the red dragon, in the spiritual meaning of the red dragon, is protecting you from the physical harms, the physical dangers, but they can exceed outside of that, and you'll understand more about that when I give you number 5. So for now, I'm going to stay on number 4 and say that they oftentimes are protecting you and they're protecting your home. If you feel like your home needs a cleanse, sage, use some charcoal, stuff like that. If you see the red dragon, it might tell you you need to sage your home. It might tell you need to sage your physical body, because the red dragon represents the physical body and the rawness of being a human being in its primitive stages, where, you know, it's eat, sleep, fuck, kill, right? Like literally repeat, eat, sleep, fuck, kill, reproduce, eat, sleep, fuck, kill, do something else, right? That feels immediate and necessary in the moment. So when you see the red dragon, it's a protector, it's a guardian. You can call on that red dragon to, the home is the main one that I'm getting right now, to protect your home. You can call on it to protect your children. You can call on it to protect your creative projects and your creative babies. You can call on it for many things, but especially in the physical world, it is a very great physical world protector, all right? And other than that, it can help protect you while you're facing these insecurities. So when you see the red dragon, you might be really worried about money. You might be really worried about, like, are you gonna make it, right? Let's do that. It's a little clearer here. Bang. You might be really worried, like, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make this month's rent? Am I gonna survive, right? I'm curious. Let's do this. Yeah. That lighting was getting weird. All right, here we go. So back to number 4. It's a protector, it's a guardian, yes, and it helps guard you against yourself. And a lot of times when it comes to your fears, you may be thinking, I want to go ahead and travel the world and I want to do it as an entrepreneur, and those fears may be overwhelming, where you decide, no, I'm just going to go back to my job, or you decide, no, I'm going to hold on to my job. Hold on, like number 3 was saying, let go, because part of letting go of your identity is letting go of what you think are the only ways that you can make money. The red dragon has a lot of symbolism behind money itself and the basic security needs about money, right? So when it happens, if the red dragon comes and you're getting ready to make some scary ass financial decisions, understand that the red dragon is here to protect you. Whether it's telling you not to make that big financial decision because it'll be something that will bring danger, harm, and put you in a bad place, or whether it's telling you, yo, look, you may think you don't have the money, but you do have the money, and it's asking you, it's trying to guard you against yourself when it comes to the scarcity mindset behind what you have and what you need. A lot of times the protection is against yourself with the red dragon when it shows up in a spiritual meaning. All right, so really check in with your insecurities and really check in with your innate deep primal fears. Okay, these can easily be ancestral fears, because it's very much at the root level, aka the ground, the dirt, and the ground and the dirt, it goes right back to, like I said, what? Mother Nature, as well as your ancestors. So you can be some of their fears, and a lot of your ancestors have monetary fears that you don't have today, but you still work 5-10 jobs or 50-70 hours slaving for somebody, when you can slave for yourself for half the time and live a life full of joy and passion and vigor, and where you get to pursue your desires. And that sounds so much more sexy. The red dragon is a very sexy emblem, so it is demanding you that you go ahead and realize that you're safe, you're protected, and it's time to pursue what you consider sexy. All right, so number 5, here we go. I'm freaking pumped up, yo. I'm pumped up. I want to thank you. I appreciate you. The birds telling me they happy. I've been wanting to talk about dragons on YouTube for years. I'm not playing. For years, at least a half a decade. I'm not playing. At least a half a decade. And I'm happy that I'm here now doing it, because it's helping me really retrospect right now and see, like, wow, like, you know what, whoever's listening to this and may benefit from this, I was there once and I'm not there now, and I'm happy because I can help guide y'all. Oh yeah, they happy right now. Respect to the Nagas. All right, the Nagas. Dragons can also show up as snakes. So if you see a red snake in a magazine, if you see a snake where even if it gives you a red hue, it may be black, that gives a shine, a glisten, fluorescent, I don't know the word. Let me know in the chat what's the word. Fluorescent, when snakes kind of glow. So, okay, number 5. Let me get some juice. I got my green drink, some spinach, celery, pineapple, orange juice. Or oranges, excuse me. All right, here we go. Number 5, Agni. Agni is a god in Hindu culture, Hindu religion, okay? And it's the god of fire, right? It's a very powerful freaking god, like very powerful god. Agni, you'll see it a lot of times on a person's eyes. If a person has Agni in them, and it'll look like a fire in them, you know, a fiery passion, something where they're living, they're loving, and they do everything hard. They love hard. Okay, I'm gonna leave that thought out. I heard you. I'm not gonna say that. They do everything passionately. Okay, Agni is represented by the spiritual flames. Okay, really redirecting you to your soul path. Okay, something where it's the purpose of the soul. It's the spiritual purpose that, again, like I said, the red dragon can oftentimes represent the full energy, but when you get beyond the initial stages of feeling like you're in danger for letting go of your identity, or for embracing this immense power, back to number 1, or, you know, being ridiculed for your passions and your desires, whether they are sexual in nature or otherwise, everything is sexual, quite frankly, sexual energy. So Agni is really about the spiritual flames. In the angelic hierarchy, we did this in our membership, check out our membership. It's the course is inside the membership portal. You can't get this unless you're in the membership, but check out this one. We talked about the elemental magics, and you got ether, akasha, and the closest to heaven is fire. Fire is the closest to heaven, and Agni is a god up in these heavenly realms. All right, A-G-I-N. Okay, and so when your Agni is dim, it's a lot of time this inner flame, this flame where I remember this time when I was in Medellin, Colombia, and I was lost. I was purposeless, you know. I was worried about money. I was worried about how was I going to survive. I was by myself. I was locked there into the quarantine. I didn't speak Spanish. I had a crap ton of fears coming up. So many fears. And during this time frame, I remember I could see my flame inside, and it was so dim that it made me depressed as hell. I was like, man, where's that fiery passion, P? Where you at, dog? Like, you know, I'm trying to find myself. And it was something where I was really failing in this, and that light within me got dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. I didn't have that fire in my eyes. And if you look now, I don't know if you find me videos from back during that time frame, and you can find those videos when I was in Colombia versus now right here in Mexico. I got that fire in my eyes. Okay, like I'm even giving a moment and a chance for you to just see and glance into that flame. And it's something that you internally have to cultivate. So this can represent that flame. And if you're pursuing something that honestly brings you closer to passion, and where your desires get fulfilled, how you know your desires are being fulfilled is when you have an emotion that is in the more optimistic realms, okay, the more joyful, positive realms, enthusiastic realms. That's how you know that your desires are being fulfilled, and you feel fulfilled, emotionally speaking and otherwise. So Agni is the one with the spiritual flame that I really want to say this is a demand. When you see this, the demand of, with the spiritual meaning of the red dragon, is that you find that passion. You find a way to look into the mirror and be honest with yourself about, are you feeling alive? Do you feel alive? You feel me? Like it's kind of like that, like, I'm alive! You feel me? Where on the surface you could just be like this, but inside you can feel that inner joy, that inner innocence that's like, I'm alive! Wow! Yeah! So on the surface, a lot of time when I'm walking through the streets, like I look just like this with a plain face, where somebody may think I'm not happy, but inside I'm like, I'm outside, I'm going to get it today, baby. I'm getting ready to create this new course. I'm getting this chakra course out there, 22222 on screen. Build it on track. So that's how you know about that. Now let's get into the 5 cues that I promised if you were at the end of the video that you were going to get. These 5 cues, these 5 different things around the demands of the red dragon. I'm not going to give all of them because then I would not have a product to sell, right? Like, let's be honest. But I'm going to do my best to give you some. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 from each category. Physiological, in the physical body, how you know if the red dragon is coming to speak to you, and you know your Mudlahara or your root chakra is blocked, you might be constipated. So, check your stool. Do you need to poop, but you can't poop? Do you feel the urge to poop and release, but you cannot release? Okay, are you lacking water? What does water do? It makes the earth fertile. What's the earth? The root chakra, the Mudlahara. Okay, or you could call it the earth star chakra too, yada yada yada. But we're talking about only the 7 chakras right now. We're not talking about the 12. We're talking about the 7. If you want interested in a 12 chakra system, let me know and I'll get into that. But I think this is a great start. Okay. The second thing, and I used to have this bad when I was 22, 23, sciatic nerve. Who has sciatic nerve? So notice that sciatic nerve, for example, this is a physiological cue that your chakra is blocked with the red dragon trying to come to you. And a lot of times sciatic nerve is with older people, you know, 45 and up. But what happens at that time frame? They're going through a midlife crisis. What's going on with that midlife crisis? They lost their passion. They have nothing. They may not be worried about money anymore. They're not worried about their home being in danger, but they also sold their soul. Agni. They sold their inner flame. Slow motion on this side, ladies. Shout out to Ralph Smart. Okay. Now, if you have a hyperactive Mudlahara or hyperactive root chakra, you may have too many boundaries. So you ever meet somebody that has so many boundaries that they really have no spunk? Okay, they're just dry. They really are not alive. It's like, what are you doing with your life? You know, like you can't get close to nobody. You're feeling hyper protective. You know, anybody touch you, you start kind of like shaking. That's how you know right there the red dragon's trying to come to you and let you know that you might be hyperactive and having too many boundaries. Or the second one, I did this one. This is another one I was doing huge in Colombia. Emotional overeating. Emotional overeating. When you have emotions that you can't understand or decipher, and you just try to eat your emotions, you try to eat your feelings away, that's how you know the red dragon is demanding you, okay, to go ahead and pursue something you're passionate about, because that passion will eat you alive. And instead of eating you alive, what happens a lot of times is we begin to eat food. Overeating food. Now you feel stuffed, you feel bloated, and you feel disgusting, and you feel dead inside. You're like, why do I exist? And you have no life. You have no vitality, and that's a sucky place to be. Let's be real. Now, how you know if you're balanced? Okay. Well, first, let's talk about how to balance the first two: the constipation, the sciatic nerve, too many boundaries, emotional eating. How to balance it? You want to do things like downward dog, or upward dog, or the pigeon pose in yoga. Anything where you stretch your hip or your tailbone, okay, in that region, that spinal region, that Sagittarius hip region, anywhere where you do that, you will start to balance these energies out. So anything in your hips are tight, your tailbone hurt and has pain, okay, you're out of balance. And it's actually, this is how you balance it. You stretch those things out. Or you could do a myofascial release with like a lacrosse ball or baseball in the hip regions. That will help a lot. The second one I have for you is to focus with less technology. Technology is one of the most disruptive practices to your root chakra. It makes you feel, even if you are balanced, even if you are financially secure and you do have, you know, a good sense of enthusiasm for life, and you feel passion, you feel desire, you feel lust, you feel highly sexual in a positive manner, but somehow you're missing this and you feel out of balance, you might be doing too much technology. Start turning your phone off at night. Take more technology breaks, okay? Because it'll definitely be one of the symbolisms of the red dragon is demands you to stop doing technology, okay, to balance out. Now, how do you know if you're balanced? One of the simplest is, number one, you're humble. You got it. Quite frankly, you're the shit. You did it. You're doing it. Like, you're amazing. And you still moderate that and pick and choose your moments to brag, if necessary, which generally is not. But there's the temptation. Another part of the red dragon. When the red dragon comes, you might be that person and you feel like you want to brag. Don't. Okay? But being humble, being able to moderate how amazing you are. Not to not be amazing, not to not feel that internally within you, but to not depend on it for other people's praise either. Be humble. Second, if you're balanced, you'll know this because you're highly energetic. You have so much energy, limitless energy. Like I said, Scorpio and Aries, Mars. Mars is the energy center. It's the way we assert, okay? And Pluto is that hidden energy, that hidden power where you assert for higher cause. Now, 2 affirmations I'm going to give you. I'm not going to give you all of them because, again, like I said, I want you to check out this course, this chakra course with the dragon, my dragon chakra course. Please do, and thank you. I am healthy and wealthy. Simple. I am is the root chakra. Affirmation, I am healthy and wealthy. No more money worries, no scarcity mindset, as well as your basic health. Second, I am safe and secure. Because again, the red dragon can come when you're not feeling safe, you're not feeling secure. I am safe and secure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out the course. The link is down in my bio. All right, depending on when you get this, you can check out, if you're an entrepreneur and you really want to dive into going full-time, all right, and actually making money doing whatever. I don't care what. I promise you, I just know how to get you as an entrepreneur to go full-time. It's just what I do. It's just what I've done it. I've done it for many. I've done it for myself. I've done it for others. And this is what I'm confident with, okay? All right, so there's an 8-week free registration. Check out the free registration link. It's down in the below, all right? For the sake of Innovator's reality, it is a 8-week course where my partner and myself, which is nice, we're having that feminine and that masculine touch, will give you the system. We'll give you the blueprint to go ahead and start going full time, point blank period. So check that out. Otherwise, check out my Chakra course. That's a little shorter term. You can do your own study, your own self-research. If I'm not mistaken, last time I saw it, it had about like 65, 67 pages. And depending on when you get this, I do intend to add more. So depending on when you get this, there'll be more. All right. So that's it. Thank you for checking out the 5 demands that I have for you with the spiritual meaning of the red dragon when it comes to you in symbolisms, whether a snake or a dragon, because snakes are more often how dragons come. That's one of the ways that they've mutated to hide their immense power. Okay, because their power creates fear within people, and you may be that person where you have so much power, but you're afraid to be that powerful. Stop. Okay, go ahead and rip it open. This is your Astro Shaman Pernell Bobby. We're generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology. Please do like this. Please do share this with somebody who you know have talked about a red dragon. Share it with them, okay? Let's spread the word, and drop a dragon down as an emoji if you made it to this last and final moment to let me know that you're a real one, that you truly support this channel, that you truly support this network. Drop a red dragon if you made it here, and that's how I know you made it 30 minutes through. That's a hard task to do with this attention span in this day and age, but I want to say thank you. Love.